First contact and ridicule. The vast expanse of space stretched before Captain Sarah Chen as she guided the UAS Horizon, Earth's first faster-than-light capable ship, towards the coordinates of the alien signal. After decades of searching, humanity had finally made contact with an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. The crew's excitement was palpable, a mix of anticipation and nervousness permeating the bridge. "We're approaching the rendezvous point, Captain," announced Navigator Jack Harper, his fingers dancing across the holographic controls. Sarah nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the viewscreen. The stars streaked by, a testament to the incredible speed at which they traveled. Suddenly, a massive ship shimmered into existence before them. Its sleek, crystalline structure dwarfed the horizon, making Earth's pride and joy look like a mere toy in comparison. "My God," whispered Dr. Aisha Patel, the ship's xenobiologist. "It's beautiful." The alien vessel pulsed with an ethereal light, and suddenly a melodic voice filled the horizon's bridge. "Greetings, humans of Earth. We are the Zoltari Collective. We acknowledge your arrival." Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth ship Horizon. We come in peace and friendship, eager to learn and share knowledge." A chuckle, both musical and condescending, echoed through the speakers. "Peace and friendship, how quaint. Tell us, Captain Chen, how long did it take your species to achieve faster-than-light travel?" Caught off guard by the question, Sarah hesitated before answering. "We achieved FTL capabilities just 3 years ago." Another laugh, this time joined by multiple voices. 3 years. Oh, you poor, primitive creatures. We mastered faster-than-light travel millennia ago. Your technology must seem so advanced to you. The mocking tone sent a chill down Sarah's spine. This wasn't the warm welcome they had hoped for. "We may be new to interstellar travel," she replied, keeping her voice level, "but we have much to offer. We seek to learn and grow." "Learn and grow," interrupted the alien voice. "Perhaps you can learn to be our pets. That might be all you're good for." Anger flashed across the faces of the Horizon's crew. Dr. Patel stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding her indignation. "We've made great strides in various fields of science. Surely there must be areas where we can contribute." "Contribute?" The alien's tone dripped with disdain. "Your science is like a child's finger painting compared to our masterpieces. But please, do continue to amuse us with your primitive notions." As the humiliation continued, Sarah noticed her communications officer, Lieutenant David Garcia, discreetly tapping at his console. David caught the captain's eye and gave a subtle nod. He had managed to record and analyze the alien transmission, gathering valuable data even as they endured the mockery. For the next hour, the Zoltari continued to belittle humanity's achievements, dismissing their art, culture, and technology as insignificant. With each passing moment, Sarah's determination grew. She would prove them wrong, show them that humanity was more than they assumed. As the cultural exchange drew to a close, the Zoltari spokesperson's voice took on a patronizing tone. "We will allow your species limited access to some of our less advanced outposts. Perhaps in a few thousand years, you might evolve enough to be of some use to us." Sarah's jaw clenched, but she maintained her diplomatic composure. "We appreciate your generosity. Rest assured, we will make the most of this opportunity." As the communication ended and the alien ship disappeared in a flash of light, a heavy silence fell over the Horizon's bridge. The crew looked to their captain, a mix of anger, shame, and determination in their eyes. Sarah took a deep breath, then addressed her team. "I know that wasn't what we expected, but remember this moment. Remember how they laughed at us, how they dismissed us, because one day we'll prove them wrong." She turned to David. "Lieutenant Garcia, what were you able to gather from their transmission?" David's eyes lit up. "A lot, Captain. Their technology is incredible, but there are patterns, frequencies we've never seen before. I think I think they're using some form of dimensional manipulation far beyond anything we theorized. Dr. Patel leaned in, intrigued. Dimensional manipulation, like in Dr. Takashi's theoretical work on seventh-dimensional physics. David nodded excitedly. Exactly like that. If we could understand this, replicate it, we could leapfrog centuries of technological development. Sarah finished, a spark of hope igniting in her chest, and show the Zoltari and the rest of the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. She turned to her helmsman. Set a course for Earth, maximum speed. We have work to do. As the horizon turned back towards Earth, Sarah's mind raced with possibilities. The Zoltari had unwittingly given humanity a gift, the motivation to prove them wrong, and a glimpse of the technology that could make it possible. Little did the aliens know, back on Earth, a secret project was already underway. A project that would soon shake the foundations of the galaxy and force the Zoltari to eat their words. In the depths of a hidden facility beneath the Atacama Desert, Dr. Hiroshi Takashi stood before a shimmering portal, a smile playing on his lips. Soon, he whispered, very, very soon. As the horizon sped towards Earth, carrying the weight of humanity's wounded pride and newfound determination, the crew couldn't shake the feeling that they stood on the precipice of something monumental. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, but that was about to change. The stars streaked by outside the viewscreen, each one a reminder of the vast, unexplored universe that awaited them. And somewhere out there, the Zoltari and countless other alien races went about their lives, blissfully unaware of the sleeping giant they had just awakened. Humanity had been mocked, dismissed, and underestimated. But as Captain Sarah Chen and her crew would soon discover, that was about to become the galaxy's biggest mistake. The secret project. Deep beneath the sun-baked surface of the Atacama Desert, in a facility known only to a select few, Dr. Hiroshi Takashi stood before a shimmering portal. The air crackled with energy, distorting the space around it in ways that defied conventional physics. This was the culmination of Project Prometheus, humanity's greatest scientific endeavor, hidden from the world and now more crucial than ever. As alarms blared, signaling another failed attempt, Hiroshi sighed and ran a hand through his salt and pepper hair. Powered down the matrix, he called out to his team, "Let's analyze the data and try again." Dr. Maya Rodriguez, his brilliant protégé, approached with a tablet in hand. "The seventh-dimensional fluctuations are still too unstable, Hiroshi. We're close, but..." Their conversation was interrupted by the facility's security chief, Colonel Sarah Blackwood. "Dr. Takashi, we've received word from the horizon. Captain Chen is requesting an immediate meeting with you and the project leads." Hiroshi's eyebrows rose. The horizon wasn't due back for weeks. Did they say why? Sarah shook her head. No details given, but it's classified as ultra-priority. Hours later, in a secure conference room, Captain Chen briefed the Prometheus team on their encounter with the Zoltari. The room was silent as she played back recordings of the aliens' mockery. "They think we're pets," Sarah concluded, her voice tight with controlled anger. "Primitive beings barely worth acknowledging. But thanks to Lieutenant Garcia's analysis, we've got something they don't expect." David stepped forward, projecting a complex series of equations and waveforms. Their technology manipulates higher dimensions in ways we've only theorized, but the principles align remarkably with Dr. Takashi's work. All eyes turned to Hiroshi, who was studying the data with intense focus. This is incredible," he murmured. "Maya, look at these phase variances. They're using a resonance cascade to stabilize the dimensional rifts." Maya's eyes widened as she grasped the implications. If we apply this to the Prometheus drive, we could achieve stable seventh-dimensional travel, Hiroshi finished, excitement building in his voice. Colonel Blackwood interjected, "How long until we have a working prototype?" Hiroshi and Maya exchanged glances, performing rapid mental calculations. "With this new data, and if we push ourselves to the limit, 3 months. "You have too," came a new voice. The room turned to see UN Secretary-General Adeyemi entering, his presence a testament to the gravity of the situation. The Zoltari have graciously invited a human delegation to their nearest outpost in 2 months. We need to show them what humanity is truly capable of. The next 2 months were a blur of frenetic activity. The Prometheus facility buzzed day and night as the team worked tirelessly to integrate the new insights into their design. Sleep was a luxury, with most team members catching naps in shifts to keep the work going around the clock. Failures were frequent and sometimes spectacular. More than once, the desert above the facility was rocked by muffled explosions as another prototype destabilized. But with each setback came new understanding, new refinements. 53 days into their 2-month deadline, as dawn broke over the Atacama, Hiroshi stood once again before the portal chamber. The air hummed with potential energy, the portal's edge shimmering with an otherworldly light. "Matrix is stable," Maya reported, her voice tense with anticipation. "Seventh dimensional resonance is holding steady." Hiroshi took a deep breath. Initiate final sequence. The hum grew to a crescendo. The portal's center began to swirl, colors that had no name in human language dancing across its surface. And then, with a sound like reality itself tearing, the portal stabilized into a smooth, mirror-like surface. For a moment, no one dared to breathe. Then the probe they had sent through reappeared, laden with data from the other side. "It worked," Maya whispered, then louder, "It worked." The room erupted in cheers and embraces. Years of work, months of grueling effort, had finally paid off. Humanity had unlocked the secret of seventh-dimensional travel. As the celebration continued around him, Hiroshi allowed himself a small smile. "Now," he said softly, "we show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of." The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity. While the Prometheus team worked to scale up their prototype for a full-sized ship, a cover story was crafted. To the world and to the Zoltari, it would appear that humanity had made a miraculous breakthrough in propulsion technology, achieving faster-than-light travel through conventional means. Only a select few knew the truth, that beneath the hull of the newly christened UES Prometheus lay a device that could fold space and time itself, allowing the ship to step through the higher dimensions as easily as walking through a doorway. As the day of departure approached, the chosen crew underwent intensive training. Captain Sarah Chen, having proved her mettle in first contact, was selected to command the Prometheus on its maiden voyage. On the eve of their departure, Secretary-General Adeyemi addressed the crew. "You carry with you the hopes and dreams of all humanity. Show the galaxy that we are not to be underestimated. Show them the true spirit of our species." As dawn broke on launch day, the Prometheus rose from its hidden base, its sleek form belying the revolutionary technology within. As it ascended through the atmosphere, Captain Chen's voice crackled over the global broadcast. "People of Earth, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Prometheus. Today, we embark on a journey that will change the course of human history, to the stars and beyond." With a flash of light that outshone the sun, the Prometheus vanished, leaving behind a world holding its breath in anticipation. In the depths of space, far beyond the solar system, the Prometheus reappeared. The bridge crew stared in awe at the unfamiliar star patterns surrounding them. "Navigation," Sarah called out, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her. "Confirm our position." After a moment, the navigator responded, his voice filled with wonder. "Captain, we've traveled over 10,000 light-years in an instant. We're at the coordinates of the Zoltari outpost." A fierce smile spread across Sarah's face. "Excellent. Let's go introduce ourselves properly, shall we?" As the Prometheus glided towards the alien outpost, its crew stood tall and proud. Humanity had taken its first true step into the galactic stage, and nothing would ever be the same again. The Zoltari were about to learn a valuable lesson: never underestimate the ingenuity, determination, and sheer audacity of the human spirit. Galactic crisis. As the UES Prometheus approached the Zoltari outpost, an uneasy silence fell over the bridge. The massive crystalline structure of the alien station loomed before them, its design a testament to the advanced nature of its creators. "Open a channel," Captain Sarah Chen ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing the surprised face of a Zoltari official. His multifaceted eyes widened in shock as he recognized the species addressing him. "This is impossible," the alien sputtered. "How did you? You shouldn't be capable of reaching this outpost for centuries." Sarah allowed herself a small, satisfied smile. "It seems you may have underestimated us, honored Zoltari. We request permission to dock and meet with your leadership." As the Prometheus was guided into a docking bay, the crew could feel the weight of countless alien eyes upon them. Word of their arrival had spread quickly through the station, and crowds of diverse alien species gathered to catch a glimpse of the impossible humans. The diplomatic team, led by Dr. Usha Patel, disembarked to meet with the station's governor. As they walked through the sprawling corridors of the outpost, Aisha couldn't help but marvel at the advanced technologies surrounding them. Yet, she reminded herself, they now carried within their ship the potential to rival even this. The meeting with Governor Zixtal was tense, filled with thinly veiled suspicion and disbelief. The Zoltari leader struggled to reconcile the primitive humans he had dismissed mere months ago with the beings who now stood before him, having crossed vast distances of space in the blink of an eye. As the humans explained their breakthrough in propulsion technology, carefully omitting any mention of dimensional manipulation, alarms suddenly blared throughout the station. Governor Zixtal's communicator chirped urgently. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded, his scales shifting colors in agitation. A holographic display sprang to life in the center of the room, showing a massive swirling vortex of energy forming at the edge of the star system. "By the cosmic threads," Zixtal whispered, his voice filled with dread. "It's happening again." Dr. Patel leaned forward, her scientific curiosity piqued. "What's happening? What is that phenomenon?" The governor turned to the humans, fear evident in his multifaceted eyes. "We call it the void maw. It's a rupture in the fabric of space-time that appears without warning, consuming everything in its path. We've lost entire systems to these events." As if to underscore his words, the hologram showed a small moon being pulled into the vortex, disintegrating as it was torn apart by immense gravitational forces. "Can it be stopped?" Captain Chen asked, her mind already racing with possibilities. Zixtal shook his head. "We've tried everything. Our most advanced ships, our greatest weapons. Nothing can close the breach once it forms. We can only evacuate and hope it dissipates on its own." The human team exchanged glances. This was far beyond what they had expected to encounter, but it was also an opportunity, a chance to prove humanity's worth on a galactic scale. "Governor," Sarah said, her voice filled with determination, "we may be able to help." The next few hours were a flurry of activity as the Zoltari coordinated evacuation efforts. The Prometheus crew worked feverishly to adapt their seventh-dimensional drive to address this new threat. Dr. Takashi, conferencing in from Earth, proposed a daring plan. "If we can generate a controlled dimensional rift opposite the void maw," he explained, his holographic form flickering with excitement, "we might be able to create a counterbalance, forcing it to collapse in on itself." But the energy requirements would be enormous, Maya pointed out. "We have to channel the output of a star to generate a rift of that magnitude." It was Lieutenant Garcia who provided the key insight. "What if we use the void maw's own energy against it? If we can set up a feedback loop using our dimensional technology, we might be able to turn its power inward." As the scientists and engineers worked to implement this plan, tensions on the station reached a fever pitch. More alien ships arrived, some to help with evacuations, others to witness what they believed would be the humans' futile attempt to save the system. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of preparations, the Prometheus was ready. As it approached the swirling vortex of the void maw, Captain Chen addressed her crew. "I won't lie to you," she said, her voice solemn. "What we're about to attempt is incredibly dangerous, but the fate of this system, and perhaps the galaxy itself, rests on our success. Whatever happens, know that you have made humanity proud." With a final check of systems, the Prometheus activated its modified drive. The ship shuddered as energies beyond human comprehension coursed through its hull. A beam of pure dimensional energy lanced out from the ship, striking the heart of the void maw. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly at first, but with increasing speed, the vortex began to shrink. The void maw's own energy was being turned against it, forced into a feedback loop that was causing it to collapse. On the bridge of the Prometheus, warning klaxons blared as systems overloaded under the strain. "Hull integrity at 62% and falling," reported the engineering officer, his voice tight with tension. "Hold steady," Sarah commanded, her knuckles white as she gripped her chair. "We're almost there." With a final, reality-shaking implosion, the void maw collapsed in on itself. A shockwave of energy radiated outward, buffeting the Prometheus and the watching ships. As the dust settled and the sensors cleared, a cheer went up from the bridge crew. Where once there had been a system-destroying vortex, now there was only empty space. The communication channels exploded with chatter as the assembled alien ships tried to make sense of what they had just witnessed. The humans, dismissed as primitive just months ago, had accomplished what the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy had failed to do. As the Prometheus limped back to the Zoltari station for repairs, Captain Chen allowed herself a moment of quiet pride. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, and nothing would ever be the same again. But even as they celebrated their victory, none of them could have predicted the far-reaching consequences of their actions, or the new dangers that now lurked on the horizon. The galaxy was about to enter a new era, one where humanity would play a pivotal role in shaping the future of all species. Humanity's triumph. In the days following the Void Maw incident, the Zoltari outpost buzzed with activity. News of the humans' feat spread rapidly across the galaxy, transforming Earth from an insignificant backwater into the focus of intense interstellar attention. Captain Sarah Chen and her crew found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of diplomatic meetings, scientific conferences, and barely concealed attempts by various alien species to uncover the secrets of their technology. Through it all, they maintained a delicate balance, sharing enough to establish goodwill while safeguarding the true nature of their seventh-dimensional drive. Dr. Aisha Patel, in particular, found herself in high demand. Her expertise in cynobiology, combined with humanity's newfound status, opened doors to vast archives of galactic knowledge. As she pored over data on thousands of alien species and civilizations, a troubling pattern began to emerge. "Captain," she said, her voice grave as she addressed Sarah in a private meeting, "I think the Void Maw wasn't an isolated incident. Look at these historical records." She pulled up a holographic display showing a map of the galaxy dotted with swirling vortices similar to the one they had encountered. "These events have been occurring with increasing frequency over the past few millennia, and they're getting worse." Sarah studied the data, her brow furrowed. "Do the Zoltari know about this?" "I don't think so," Aisha replied. "These records are fragmented, spread across multiple species archives. I don't think anyone's put it all together before." Just then, an urgent message came through from Earth. Secretary General Adayami's face appeared on the screen, his expression grim. "Captain Chen, we have a situation. A Void Maw has appeared in the Alpha Centauri system. It's heading towards our solar system." The news hit like a physical blow. Earth, having just stepped onto the galactic stage, now faced an existential threat. "We're on our way," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. "And we're bringing help." What followed was a frantic race against time. As the Prometheus sped back to Earth, Sarah and her team worked to convince the galactic community of the scale of the threat they all faced. The data Dr. Patel had uncovered proved crucial. demonstrating that this was not just a human problem, but a danger to the entire galaxy. Reluctantly at first, then with growing urgency as the evidence mounted, various alien species agreed to join forces. A fleet unlike any the galaxy had ever seen began to assemble. Zoltari crystalline ships, massive Fraxian war barges, sleek Talon interceptors, and dozens of other vessels representing civilizations from across the stars. At the heart of this armada was the Prometheus, its seventh dimensional drive, now the linchpin in a desperate plan to save not just Earth, but potentially the entire galaxy. As they approached the solar system, the fleet was met with a sight that chilled them to the core. The void maw had grown to monstrous proportions, its swirling vortex already larger than Jupiter. The outer planets had been torn from their orbits, reduced to debris swirling around the event horizon. "My God," whispered Lieutenant Garcia as he stared at the sensor readings. "At this rate, it'll reach Earth in less than 48 hours. Captain Chen's voice cut through the shop's silence on the bridge. "We've faced this before, and we'll face it again. This time, we're not alone. All ships, move into formation. Prepare to execute Operation Cosmic Seal." The plan was audacious, borderline insane. Using the Prometheus as a focal point, the Allied fleet would generate a massive controlled dimensional rift to counter the void maw. It would require perfect coordination and push their technology to its absolute limits. As the ships moved into position, Sarah opened a channel to the fleet. "To all ships, this is Captain Chen. What we attempt today will determine the fate not just of humanity, but of all our peoples. Together, we stand against the darkness. Together, we will prevail." A chorus of affirmations echoed across the comm channels, a symphony of alien voices united in common purpose. The next hours were a blur of frantic activity. Ships darted in and out of formation, using their various technologies to stabilize the growing rift. The Prometheus pulsed with energy as its seventh dimensional drive worked in concert with the alien vessels, guiding the creation of a controlled dimensional tier. As they worked, the void maw continued its inexorable advance. Mars vanished into its maw, the red planet crumbling to dust in an instant. Earth, a blue jewel against the backdrop of space, seemed to tremble in the face of its approaching doom. "Rift stability at 67% and holding," reported Dr. Rodriguez, her voice strained. "We need more power." Sarah made a split-second decision. Divert all non-essential power to the drive. Life support, artificial gravity, everything. Give it all we've got. Throughout the ship, lights dimmed and gravity fluctuated as every ounce of energy was channeled into the dimensional rift. Across the fleet, alien vessels followed suit, pushing their own technologies to the breaking point. For a moment that stretched into eternity, nothing seemed to happen. The void maw continued to grow, unstoppable in its hunger. Then, almost imperceptibly at first, it began to slow. "It's working," shouted Lieutenant Garcia. "The void maw's expansion is decreasing." But their victory was far from assured. As the two-dimensional rifts clashed, space and time itself seemed to warp and twist. Ships were tossed about like leaves in a storm, their hulls groaning under forces they were never designed to withstand. On the bridge of the Prometheus, warning klaxons blared as systems failed one by one. "Hull integrity critical," shouted the engineering officer. "We can't take much more of this, Captain." Sarah gripped her chair, her knuckles white. "Hold on," she called out. "We're almost there." With a final, reality-shaking surge, the controlled rift collided with the void maw. For a moment, it seemed as if the very fabric of the universe held its breath. Then, with a silent explosion that rippled across space and time, both rifts collapsed in on themselves. As the sensors cleared and the dust settled, a ragged cheer went up across the fleet. Where once there had been a galaxy-threatening vortex, now there was only the vast emptiness of space and a battered but intact Earth. Humanity had not only proven its worth, but had played a pivotal role in saving the galaxy. As congratulations and expressions of awe poured in from their alien allies, Captain Sarah Chen allowed herself a moment of quiet pride. But even as they celebrated their victory, she knew that this was only the beginning. The Void Moles were a symptom of a deeper problem, one that would require all of their newfound allies' combined knowledge and technology to solve. As the Prometheus limped back to Earth, Sarah gazed out at the stars. The galaxy had changed forever, and humanity's place in it had been irrevocably altered. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, as equals among the stars, saving the galaxy. The quantum horizon, humanity's crowning achievement, hung in space before the assembled galactic fleet. Captain Aria Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of the quantum anomaly that threatened to tear the galaxy apart. The combined might of a dozen advanced civilizations had failed to even slow its growth. Now, all hopes rested on the humans and their revolutionary technology. "All systems a go, Captain," reported Lieutenant Zara Patel, her voice tense but steady. "The quantum drive is primed and ready." Aria nodded, feeling the weight of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy on her shoulders. "Open a channel to the fleet." As the comlink crackled to life, Aria addressed the gathered ships. "This is Captain Chen of the Quantum Horizon. We're about to attempt our approach. All ships maintain your current positions and be prepared to assist if needed." A chorus of acknowledgements came through, tinged with a mix of hope and skepticism. The Zenthari representative, Xanthor, spoke up. "Captain Chen, I must once again express our doubts about this plan. The energies involved are beyond anything we've ever encountered. Are you certain your primitive ship can withstand them?" Aria allowed herself a small smile. "We're about to find out, Representative Xanthor. Horizon out." She turned to her crew, each face a mask of determination. "This is it, people. Everything we've worked for comes down to this moment. Dr. Takashi, are you ready?" Dr. Hiroshi Takashi's hologram flickered on the bridge, the scientist's eyes gleaming with excitement despite the gravity of the situation. "Ready as will ever be, Captain. Remember, we need to get as close to the anomaly's event horizon as possible. The quantum drive will create a counter-resonance field, but timing is critical." "Understood," Aria replied. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. "Helm, take us in. Nice and easy." The quantum horizon glided forward, its sleek form a stark contrast to the chaotic energies swirling before it. As they approached, the ship began to shudder, buffeted by forces that defied conventional physics. "Hull integrity at 95% and holding," called out the engineering officer. "Quantum field stable." Closer and closer they edged, the view screen filled with a maelstrom of colors and energies never before witnessed by human eyes. Warning klaxons blared as the ship's systems strained against the onslaught. "We're approaching the theoretical limit," Dr. Takashi warned. "Any closer, and we risk being torn apart." Aria gripped her chair, her knuckles white. "Hold position here. Initiate the quantum drive sequence." Dr. Takashi's fingers flew over his console, and the ship hummed with power. The quantum drive, the culmination of years of secret research and development, sprang to life. A beam of pure energy lanced out from the horizon, striking the heart of the anomaly. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly at first, but with increasing speed, the swirling vortex began to contract. "It's working," explained Dr. Wells, her eyes wide with wonder. "The anomaly is collapsing in on itself." But their victory was far from assured. As the quantum energies clashed, space itself seemed to warp and twist. The horizon groaned under forces it was never designed to withstand. "Hull integrity down to 60%, shouted the engineer. "We can't take much more of this." Aria's mind raced. They were so close, but the ship was falling apart around them. In that moment, she made a decision that would echo through history. "Dr. Takashi," she called out, "can we boost the drive's power output?" The scientist's hologram flickered, his expression grave. "We can, but it would almost certainly destroy the ship. We'd be sacrificing ourselves." Arya looked around at her crew, seeing the same resolve in their eyes that she felt in her heart. If that's what it takes to save the galaxy, then so be it. Do it. Dr. Takashi nodded solemnly and began the sequence. The quantum horizon shuddered as every ounce of power was diverted to the drive. The beam intensified, burning brighter than a sun. Outside, the assembled fleet watched in awe as the human ship stood its ground against cosmic forces, a David facing down a Goliath of unimaginable proportions. The Zenthari, who had once mocked humanity as primitive, now found themselves speechless in the face of such bravery and ingenuity. On the horizon's bridge, systems failed one by one. The air grew thin as life support faltered, but still the crew held on, their eyes fixed on the shrinking anomaly. "Just a little more," Arya gasped, fighting to remain conscious. With a final, reality-shaking surge, the quantum beams struck true. The anomaly collapsed in on itself, imploding with a silent flash that rippled across space and time. As the light faded and sensors cleared, a ragged cheer went up across the galactic fleet. Where once there had been a galaxy-threatening vortex, now there was only the vast emptiness of space. And there, battered but unbroken, hung the quantum horizon. As systems slowly came back online and the crew stirred, Arya pulled herself to her feet. "Status report," she croaked. "We're alive," Zora replied, her voice filled with disbelief and joy. "Captain, we did it. We actually did it." Before Arya could respond, the comm system crackled to life. Zamfor's voice came through, filled with a humility never before heard from a Zenthari. "Captain Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Council and all sentient beings, I extend our deepest gratitude. We were wrong about humanity. You have saved us all." Arya allowed herself a triumphant smile. "Thank you, Representative. We were happy to help. Now, if you don't mind, I think my crew could use a bit of rest. We've had quite a day." As congratulations poured in from across the galaxy, Arya looked out at the stars, forever changed by humanity's actions. They had not only proven their worth, but had reshaped the very nature of galactic civilization. The quantum anomaly was gone, but its effects would ripple through the cosmos for eons to come. Humanity, once dismissed as primitive, now stood as the saviors of the galaxy, and this, Arya knew, was only the beginning. As the quantum horizon limped back towards the welcoming fleet, Arya couldn't help but think of the journey that had brought them here. From the humiliation of first contact to this moment of triumph, humanity had shown that their greatest strength lay not in their technology, but in their spirit, their unwavering determination to push boundaries, to innovate, and to rise above any challenge. The galaxy would never be the same again, and humanity was ready to take its place among the stars, not as pets or primitives, but as equals and innovators, ready to face whatever new frontiers awaited them. As Arya looked at her crew, tired but proud, she knew that this was not the end of their story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter, one that would be written across the stars themselves. A new era. The grand hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in millennia. Representatives from hundreds of civilizations, some so ancient they remembered the birth of stars, gathered in eager anticipation. At the center of it all stood Captain Arya Chen and her crew, the humans who had changed the course of galactic history. Zamfor, the Zenthari representative who had once dismissed humanity as primitive, approached the podium. The crystalline being's multifaceted eyes swept across the assembly before settling on the human delegation. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Zamfor began, voice resonating through the chamber, "we gather today to recognize an unprecedented act of bravery and ingenuity. The beings before you, members of a species we once considered barely worthy of notice, have saved us all from annihilation." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Arya stood tall, her crew flanking her, their faces a mix of pride and humility. Thanfor continued, in light of their actions and the remarkable technology they have developed, I propose that humanity be granted full membership in the Galactic Council, with all rights and responsibilities therein. The hall erupted in a cacophony of voices, some supportive, others skeptical. Aria stepped forward, raising a hand for silence. As the noise died down, she spoke, her voice clear and confident. Members of the Council, we stand before you not seeking accolades, but partnership. What we achieved in facing the quantum anomaly was not just a triumph of technology, but of spirit. The human spirit that drives us to explore, to innovate, and to protect not just ourselves, but all sentient life. She paused, her gaze sweeping the room. We have much to learn from you, it's true, but we also have much to offer. Our quantum drive technology is just the beginning. We propose a new age of cooperation, where the strengths of all our civilizations are combined to push the boundaries of what's possible. As Aria spoke, holographic displays sprang to life around the hall, showcasing the schematics of the quantum drive and proposals for its application in various fields, from healing war-torn planets to exploring the spaces between galaxies. Dr. Hiroshi Takashi stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with excitement. Imagine, he said, a network of quantum gateways connecting the farthest reaches of our galaxy. Imagine ships powered by the very fabric of space-time, capable of journeys we once thought impossible. This is the future we can build together. The assembly buzzed with excitement. Even the oldest, most jaded civilizations found themselves captivated by the possibilities. Species that had long since plateaued in their developments saw new avenues for growth and exploration. An ancient being, its form a swirling mist of sentient gas, spoke up. In all my eons, I have never witnessed such a rapid ascension of a young species. Humanity has not only earned its place among us, but has reignited the spark of innovation in us all. One by one, representatives stood to voice their support. The Galactic Council, an institution often bogged down by bureaucracy and ancient grudges, moved with unprecedented unity. When the final vote was tallied, it was unanimous. Humanity would join the Council. As the formalities concluded, Aria found herself surrounded by a whirlwind of alien diplomats, scientists, and leaders, all eager to establish ties with Earth. Dr. Samantha Wells was deep in conversation with a group of xenobiologists, already planning expeditions to study life forms in unexplored sectors of the galaxy. Lieutenant Zara Patel stood with a cluster of communication experts discussing the integration of quantum entanglement into the galactic communication network. Imagine, she said, her eyes alight with possibility, instantaneous communication across any distance. No more lag, no more delayed responses. The entire galaxy connected in real time. Amidst the excitement, Aria felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned to find Thanfor, the Xanthori's crystalline form shimmering with what she now recognized as embarrassment. Captain Chen, Xanthor began, I owe you and your species a profound apology. We judged you hastily and harshly, blinded by our own arrogance. You have taught us a valuable lesson in humility. Aria smiled, extending her hand in the human gesture of reconciliation. Apology accepted, Representative Thanfor. Let's focus on the future we can build together. As the celebrations continued, Aria found a quiet moment to stand by a massive viewport, gazing out at the star-studded expanse of the galaxy, their galaxy now, in a way it hadn't been before. Dr. Takashi joined her, his usually energetic demeanor subdued by the weight of the moment. You know, Aria, he said softly, when we started the Quantum Drive project, I never imagined it would lead to this. We've opened a door, and I don't think anyone, human or alien, truly knows what's on the other side. Aria nodded, her eyes fixed on the distant stars. It's a little terrifying, isn't it? The responsibility we now hold. Terrifying, yes, Hiroshi agreed, but exhilarating too. Think of the advancements we'll see, the discoveries we'll make. We're standing at the dawn of a new era for all sentient life. As if to underscore his words, a group of young aliens approached, their eyes wide with admiration. Captain Chen, one of them asked, its voice a melodious trill. Will you tell us the story of how you saved the galaxy? Arya laughed, a sound of pure joy that seemed to light up the room. Of course, but it's not just my story. It's the story of humanity, of determination in the face of dismissal, of innovation born from necessity. And now it's a story that belongs to all of us. As she began to recount the tale, Arya realized that this was indeed just the beginning. Humanity had proven itself, yes, but the real work was just starting. There would be challenges ahead, ancient conflicts to navigate, cosmic mysteries to unravel, and the ever-present unknown of the universe to explore. But as she looked at the faces around her, human and alien alike, all united in their thirst for knowledge and adventure, Arya knew that they were ready. Ready to face whatever the cosmos might throw at them, ready to push the boundaries of science and understanding, ready to write the next chapter in the grand story of sentient life. The quantum leap that had started with humanity's determination to prove its worth had become a leap for all civilizations. As the galaxy spun on, its myriad worlds now more connected than ever, a new age of exploration, cooperation, and discovery dawned. And somewhere, on a small blue planet that had once seemed insignificant in the cosmic scale, a child looked up at the night sky, dreaming not just of reaching the stars, but of the incredible adventures that awaited among them. For in this new era, the only limit was imagination itself. As the story of humanity's great leap spread across the galaxies, it became a beacon of inspiration, a testament to the indomitable spirit that could arise from even the most unlikely places. And in the vast, ever-expanding universe, countless civilizations looked to the stars with renewed wonder, knowing that out there, amidst the cosmic dance of planets and stars, extraordinary things were possible. The era of humanity's isolation was over. The age of galactic unity had begun, and the universe, infinite in its mysteries, awaited.